Welcome to Good Morning Evangel. I'm your host, Elaine Hines. In the latest news, Elon Musk agreed Saturday to step down as chairman of Tesla and pay a $20 million fine in a deal to settle charges brought this week by the Securities and Exchange Commission. He accepted the deal with the SEC without admitting or denying the allegations of the complaint, according to a court document. The announcement from the SEC comes 2 days after the agency filed a lawsuit against Musk, claiming he misled investors. The suit centers on tweets Musk sent on August 7th in which he said he had secured funding to take Tesla private at $420 a share, causing the company's stock to soar. He had not secured the funding, the SEC said. A spokesperson confirmed Musk will be permitted to remain a member of the board. The company also agreed to appoint 2 new independent directors to its board and establish a board committee to oversee Musk's communications. Kellyanne Conway said Sunday that support for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh remains strong despite allegations of sexual assault and misconduct against him that have prompted the reopening of his FBI background check and a delay in his Senate confirmation vote. Not a single parent whose young daughters Judge Kavanaugh has coached in basketball has come forward and said, "You know what? I now have second thoughts," Conway told CNN's State of the Union anchor Jake Tapper during an interview. Conway also said she doesn't expect Kavanaugh to be held responsible for the consequences of the #MeToo movement, adding that she too is a victim of sexual assault. Conway, who serves as counselor to President Donald Trump, told Tapper that women who come forward with allegations of sexual misconduct should all be heard in courts of law. Kavanaugh has denied all the allegations. A group of Southern California high school students faced disciplinary action after spelling out the N-word with lettered T-shirts at a senior picnic. The Escondido Union High School District this week confirmed that about 10 students at a senior event made a poor decision by participating in the stunt involving the racial slur. "We are a campus that prides itself on inclusivism and embraces diversity," Principal Adriana Lepe Ramirez said in a statement. "We will not tolerate actions that send messages of racism and promote divisiveness." The statement said Escondido High School, district officials, and local police were investigating the incident. During the senior picnic, students at the school north of San Diego wear lettered T-shirts and are photographed spelling out words while standing side by side. The words are usually approved ahead of time, but some students spell out their own words after the official photo is taken. The district statement said the activity was not aligned with Escondido High School's culture, values, or history. "We all need to understand the power of our words and actions, and we must take responsibility for the decisions we make each and every day," Lepe Ramirez said. The United States sailed a warship close to disputed islands in the South China Sea on Sunday, a move that is bound to draw the ire of Beijing and comes amid heightened U.S.-China tensions over a broad range of issues. The 2 U.S. officials told CNN that the guided missile destroyer U.S. Decatur sailed within 12 nautical miles of Gavin and Johnson Reefs in the Spratly Islands as part of what the U.S. Navy calls freedom of navigation operations, which are meant to enforce the right to free passage in international waters. U.S. forces operate in the Indo-Pacific region on a daily basis, including the South China Sea. All operations are designed in accordance with international law and demonstrate the United States will fly, sail, and operate wherever international law allows, a U.S. defense official told CNN. The freedom of navigation operations challenge excessive maritime claims and demonstrate our commitment to uphold the rights, freedoms, and uses of the sea and airspace guaranteed to all nations under international law, the official added. In Jakarta, Indonesian rescue workers combed through chunks of concrete and lumber searching for survivors. Indonesian officials say that 832 people were killed in a powerful earthquake and tsunami on the island of Sulawesi. 2 days after the 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit the island, the death toll has continuously risen and authorities say more bodies could still be recovered. Indonesian Disaster Management Agency spokesman Sutopo Purwono Nugroho estimates that 2.4 million people were impacted by Friday's earthquake. Nugroho said 71 foreigners were in the city of Palu at the time of the quake, and most were safely evacuated to Jakarta. At least 5 foreigners, including 3 French nationals, as well as a Malaysian and a South Korean national, are unaccounted for, he said. As of Sunday, there were no reports of U.S. citizens affected in the quake. That's all the news for today. After the break, Gracie Ayers will be giving us some tips on keeping safe at home. We'll be right back.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta
trying as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
We all have a need to experience life with others, to not be just another face in the crowd, but to have a small community we can call family. We need to receive individual guidance from the wise and be sharpened by those we live with from day to day. We treasure the traditions of those who have gone before us and form lasting friendships with those who cross our path, knowing that the skills, the memories, and the relationships we formed will journey with us, no matter where we go. Evangel University.
Welcome back to Good Morning Evangel. I'm Elaine Hines. Here in the studio with us today is Gracie Ayers. She is president of the Outdoor Club and is a multimedia journalism major. Gracie, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thanks for having me, Elaine.
So tell me some of your responsibilities as Outdoor President Club.
Well, as the president, I get to kind of sit back and steer the ship. I have an amazing team that works with me as well, but our main job as the Outdoor Club is to create a place for students to get off campus and experience nature. If you're a science major, you can also use that opportunity to go find samples for your classes. But just creating a place for people to get off campus and be outside.
Awesome. So what are some of the things that students need to do to be safe while they're outside?
So I carry a first aid kit. I took some first aid training over the summer, and I've taken it a couple different times. And the big thing that they told me during my first aid training was make sure you're carrying a first aid kit that works for you. If you're working in a factory, you're definitely going to carry a different first aid kit than a common student that's commuting. So something I keep in my car is one of these. I've modified it since then. I got it at Walmart, but I've changed it. So I've got some popsicle sticks. This is good for setting fingers. I got gloves and gauze. Band-aids, some wipes in there, flashlight, things that I can grab in a pinch and I can take with me. It's really small. It fits in my bag really well. I also have this, which just has gauze and other things. So if I had like a major wound, I could try to wrap that up while I'm calling 911 for an emergency. I also have a wool blanket I keep in my car and this little backpack so I can throw things in there, as well as a sleeping bag. So these are just things I have in my car that are easy for me to have, and just in case I need them in a pinch. But I mean, ideally I would have a lot more, but you just kind of work with what you have in the time that you have it. So.
Awesome. So have you heard of some of the SHARP classes that Evangel has been doing?
Yeah, so I took them last year actually, and I would highly recommend it. As a student, but also as a female, I felt more protected and more prepared to kind of, and if I were in an event where I would need to defend myself, but also mace is always something that you could look into as well. That's still pretty well accepted here. It's not something you can do in Canada, but in America you can carry mace pretty easily. And so those are just small things that you can do. You don't have to go out and buy a concealed carry to protect yourself. Taking the SHARPS class, you're going to feel really well prepared and really ready for anything. So.
Gotcha. So it's a 2-hour class, right? With the first hour lecture, and then the second hour you actually do some defensive training.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I went with my floor, so I partnered up with people I knew, and we got to like wrestle with each other and use defensive moves. We didn't actually hurt each other, but we just like had an understanding. We had a dummy, but then we had each other too, so we could really grasp where like the pressure points were and those things, because you might be smaller than the person attacking you, but you're still going to be able to defend yourself because you know where the pressure points are.
Right. Well, thank you, Gracie. That's all the time we have for today. Remember to check out the SHARP classes that Evangel has to offer. Thank you again for being on Evangel. Have a great day.